بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So inshallah, today we're discussing the Amr, Nahi, Ism al-Fa'il, Ism al-Maf'ul of the Naqis. Okay? So what do we have here? We have here, first of all, we're going to discuss the Amr. So وَالْأَمْرُ مِنْهَا أُغْزُوا أُغْزُوَا أُغْزُوا أُغْزِي أُغْزُوَا أُغْزُونَ. There's nothing new to explain here. Whatever ta'leel, whatever i'tilal happen in al-mudari, you just basically drop the alamat al-mudari, add the hamza, wasl, with a dhamma or a kasra accordingly, and you make the amr. So I'm not going to explain this. So the mudari, whatever ta'leel happen, i'tilal happen in the mudari, it will apply to the amr. Yes, in daraba yadribu, idmi, idmiya, idmu, idmi, idmiya, and idmina. And in samiya isma'u, irda, irdaya, irdaw, irday, irdaya, irdayna. So wherever i'tilal happen in the mudari will apply here. Just then the rules of amr will apply by removing the ta, as you have done very basic stage. One rule that's different here now is وَإِذَا أَدْخَلْتَ عَلَيْهِ نُونَ التَّأْكِيد. If you place a noon al-ta'keed on the fi'l al-amr, what happens then? He says أُعِيدَتِ اللَّامُ الْمَحْذُوفَ. What happened? You would say, for example, أُغْزُوَنَّ أُغْزُوَانِ. So what happened here? When you have mudari by itself, yes? So mudari itself is going to be ghaza, yaghzu, yaghzuwu, correct? Then you do taskeen, so it becomes what? But taghzu, taghzu, taghzu. And when you make an amr, what happens to the amr? What does it become? Ugzu, but you drop the alamatul, you drop the lam al-kalima, it comes ugzu. Correct? Everybody following me so far? So tagzu is tagzuwu becomes taskeen tagzu. You make it amr, it becomes ugzu, and you make it madzum state, or you make the alamatul jazm. So it becomes what? It becomes the thing drops. Yes, the waw at the end, the lam kalima drops. But when he's saying here, when you add the lam tawkeed, when you bring the noon tawkeed, the lam kalima which had dropped, that is going to come back. So for example, ughzuwanna. So it's ughzu, here's ughzu. But when you make the amr with the waw, noon ta'keed, you don't say ughzunna, you say ughzuwanna. Ughzuwani. He doesn't have this in the text, but I added it in so you know. So ughzuwanna, ughzuwani, ughzuwunna. Like for example, unsuranna, unsurani, unsurunna. What comes in the Quran? Latublawunna. Obviously it's not the amr, but it's still the noon ta'keed. Latublawunna. When it has the here, I said tublawunna. Are you following? So you will bring it back. Okay. When you have irmi, so irmiyanna, irmiyani, irmiyunna, irdayanna, irdayani, and then you bring back the ya. So in here the ya is mahdhuf, you bring back the ya. Even here you bring back the ya. What happens? In the mufrad form it has a fatha, and the jama' form it has a dhamma to do alama, to do dalala upon the waw that's missing from there. Okay. So this will be the amr's table with the noon ta'keed at the end. So is'ayanna, is'ayani, is'ayunna. So is'a, yas'a. So normal amr would mean is'a. Like that, is'a. You bring it back, is'ayanna. So is'a, is'aya, and it comes is'aw. And that waw is the dhamir. But when you make it noon ta'keed, you bring back the lamul kalima. So is'ayanna, is'ayani, is'ayunna, is'ayinna, is'ayani, is'aynani. Same with ilmayanna and ud'uwanna. But obviously in the ayat you bring back the waw because the waw has been mahdhuf. And in the is'a and irmi, you bring back the ya because the ya was mahdhuf. Does everybody understand? Are you following? Okay. Yes? The next now is, yes, everybody understand that one? So the amr is easy, same as the mudari. And the only thing you have to remember is that when you have the noon ta'keed, then the lam kalima comes back. Ismul fa'il, what's the ismul fa'il going to be? Wasmul fa'ili minha ghazin, ghaziyani, ghazuna, ghaziyatun, ghaziyatani, ghaziyatun, and ghawazin. So what happens here in ghazin? وَكَذَلِكَ رَامٍ. It's the same pattern. Ghazin, ghaziyani, ghazuna, ghaziyatun, ghaziyatani, ghaziyatun. Now he's explaining it here. Aslu ghazin, ghazihun. قُلِبَتِ الْوَاوُ يَاءً لِتَطَرُّفِهَا وَانْكِسَارِ مَا قَبْلَهَا كَمَا قُلِبَتْ فِي غُزِيَةٍ. He's mentioned a rule which has been applied before, but he hasn't mentioned the rule before. What's the rule? If you have the waw. And the waw is mutatarrifa. What do you call it? Wawun mutatarrifatun. And taraf means corner, edge, end. So if you have a waw which is mutatarrif, meaning the waw occurs at the end of the word. So you have a waw mutatarrifa. You have a waw that occurs at the end of the word. And wankisari ma qablaha, and it occurs after a kasra. The word before is a kasra. So for example, radiwa. Waw is mutatarrifa. The waw occurs at the end. Before it is a kasra. So the waw mutatarrifa, with a kasra before it becomes what? Aya. It changes to aya. So radiya. Ghuziwa. So ghaza yaghzu. So ghazawa. So maf'ul is going to be, the majhul form is going to be ghuziwa. It's waw mutatarrifa. The kasra before it becomes ghuziya. So he's saying here, the same thing is going to happen here. So ghaziwun becomes what? Qalb. You change the waw into a ya. So ghaziyun. So far so good? So ghaziwun becomes what? Ghaziyun. Then we say ghaziyun is originally written like this. Ghaziyun. And a dhamma or a kasra on the ya is thaqil. This is thaqil. Meaning ya is shouldn't have a dhamma. Ya can have a fatha, but having a dhamma is thaqil. It's harsh and burdensome to pronounce. Because this ya is burdensome to pronounce, what are you going to do? You're going to remove the ya. Yes, when you remove the ya, it becomes what? Or you give it a sakin. You give it a sakin. When you give it a sakin, you do hasf al-haraka, you do taskeen. You make it hasf, or you can say here, sukoon. You give it a sukoon because it is thaqil. So because of the thiql, because of it being harsh and burdensome, what do? You say what? What do? You make it sakin, it becomes ghazin. And what do you have? Iltiqa sakinain. Because of iltiqa sakinain, it becomes what? Ghazin. That's how they explain it. So ghaziwun, originally da'iwun, fa'ilun. So ghaziwun, the waw changes to a ya because of tatarruf, wa inkisari ma qablaha. It is at the ending and the kasra before it comes ghaziyun. No, ghaziyun is originally written like this. And he's saying here, ya, having a haraka, is thaqil. Especially, it can have a fatha, but a dhamma and a kasra is thaqil. So therefore, we change it to what? You give it a sukoon, make it easy to pronounce. When you do taskeen of it, what happens? It becomes ghazin, ijtima'u sakinain. Because of the ijtima'u sakinain, you do hazaf, and it becomes ghazin. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's try doing here, ramin. How will ramin work? Who's going to explain to me ramin? Yep. So ramiyun. And ramiyun is written as what? Here you don't have to change the waw into a ya because it's already a ya. Yes? So this is ramiyun. What's happened? Is it this ya is what? This kasra on the ya is what? Ramiyun. Oh, sorry, ramiyun, sorry. You make it sukoon. Yeah, you make it silent. It becomes what? Ramin. Now ramin is what? Ijtima'u iltiqa sakinain. What do you do of it now? You do hazaf. It becomes what? Ramin. Understood? Okay. Yes? Now the question, yeah, everybody understand that? So same with ra. So let's do radin. Radin. Who can do radin? So ra, what's originally radin? Radi. Who's going to do this one? Radiwun is going to be what originally? So radiwun becomes G. Radiyun. Why is it becoming a ya? Because the waw comes at the end, tatarruf. It's tatarruf of the waw, and it's before it is what? A kasra. So it becomes radiyun. Radiwun becomes radiyun. Yes? Then what happens? So, and this is written, radiyun is actually written as radiyun. Radiyun. Correct? The dhamma on this is what? Thaqil. You make it a sukoon. You have a what? Ra. Radin. And radin is what? Hard to pronounce. So it becomes what? Ra. You do iltiqa sakinain. It's iltiqa sakinain. It becomes radin. You have a noon, but you write it as a tanween. Radin. Correct? Right? Okay. Then the question arises in ghaziwatun, ghazin, ghaziwun. But when you have ghaziwatun, why does a waw change to a ya? Because we say here, the waw changes to a ya when it's mutatarrif. When it's what? Mutatarrif. Is this waw mutatarrif? Does this waw occur at the end? No. So then why is it changed to a ya? Then we say, and they say ghaziyatun, the Arabs still say ghaziyatun, لأن المؤنث فرع المذكر. We say, look, it's not made from ghaziwatun, it's made from the mu'annath form is made from ghazin. And then you add the ta. So you don't make ghaziwatun originally you don't do the i'tilal from ghaziwatun. You do ghazin and then you add the ta, so it becomes ghaziyatun. So you say that the waw in here is ghaziwun, you change it to a ya, then you add the ta. So that's why even though in ghaziyatun, the waw ghaziwatun is not mutatarrifa, but based on the mudhakkar, in the mudhakkar it was mutatarrif. In the mudhakkar it came at the end. Therefore, because it became at the end in the mudhakkar form, that's why you also change it to a ya in the mu'annas form. لأن المؤنث فرع المذكر, because the mu'annas form is a fara of the mudhakkar. والتاء طارئة, and the ta is what? طارئة. Understood? Far'un means a branch or an offshoot. A branch, an offshoot. Based on. And tari' means temporary. Okay? A temporary occurs, not part of the asal. Understood? Yes? So far so good? Now the ism al-maf'ul. What happens to ism al-maf'ul? وَتَقُولُ فِي الْمَفْعُولِ مِنَ الْوَاوِيِّ مَغْزُوٌ. So very simple. Nothing happens there. All happens is idgham. Not even idgham. You just merge it together. Mansurun, maghzuwun. And then you just put together. Instead of writing two vowels, you just put together, make a shadda. Maghzuwun. So nothing happens in a wawi. Maf'ul is very simple. Maghzuwun, maghzuwani, maghzuwuna, maghzuwatun, maghzuwatani, maghzuwatun. And in the ya'i, it's marmiyun. What happens in marmiyun? It's maf'ulun. So marmuyun. You have the waw and the ya together. What's the rule? You have a waw and a ya, which when you have a waw and a ya coming together, the second is sakin, you change the waw into a ya. You have a waw and a ya coming together. What will you do now? You make the waw you change the qalb, you change the waw into a ya. So it becomes marmuyun. Can you have a dhamma before the ya? No, you can't have marmuyun. So you give the dhamma. The ma qabla is kasra, so you give a kasra, so marmiyun. Then you join together. Not even idgham, it's already sukun anyways. So you won't call it idgham. You just add it together. Like maghzuwun, so marmiyun. You just write it together. It was already sukun anyways. Okay, idgham is when you make it sakin. It's not idgham. It's actually just writing it together. The shadda to save writing space. So marmuyun becomes marmuyun. And you change the kasra, marmiyun. Then you write it together, you merge it together, and it becomes marmiyun. Okay, that's what he explained. Well, marmuyun, aslu is marmuyun. Tuqlabu al-wawu ya'an. Because the waw changes to a kasra. So the waw goes to a ya. And وَيُكْسَرُ مَا قَبْلَهَا. Then you get the word for a kasra. Why? This is the rule. What's the rule? لأن الواو والياء إذا اجتمعتا في كلمة واحدة. If waw and ya come together in one word. والأولى منهما, and the first of those two is sakina. So what do you have? You have a waw and a ya coming together. The first is sakin. What do? قُلِبَتِ الْوَاوُ يَاءً. The waw will change to a ya. If you have a waw and a ya coming together, and the first is sakin, then what do? You change the waw into a ya. So we have here marmuyun, waw and ya come together. What do? Change the waw into a ya, and then you obviously have to change the ya for tanasub. And then you give it, you do idgham, you merge it together, so it becomes marmiyun. Understand? Yes? And then you will say, when you have fa'ul, what will happen to fa'ulun? So for example, aduwun, like ghafurun, shakurun, saburun, aduwun. You just put it together as well. Write it together, aduwun. Wa min al-ya'i baghiyun. So if it's ya'i was what? Baghiyun, it becomes what? Fa'ulun. So baghuyun. What will happen? Baghuyun. What's the rule? واو and ya come together in one ya al-ya wal waw إذا اجتمعتا في كلمة واحدة. Wow and ya come together in one kalima. What do you have to do now? When wow and ya come together in one kalima, you make the wow into a ya and they merge together, it comes baghiyun. And you obviously have a dhamma before it, into a kasra. Yes? Everybody following? In fa'il, in wawi, sabiyun, so it becomes what? Sabiyun. Fa'ilun, sabiyun. What happens? A waw and a ya come together in one kalima, you change a waw into a ya, sabiyun. And then shariyun, it's not a problem because shari was originally from sharaya. So shariyun is really shariyun. We just write together as one word. Fa'ilun becomes shariyun. Understood? Everybody following? Yes? Any questions? Yes? Okay, let's stop here inshallah. Okay. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.